crime against my person. And the law draws a very bright line between things you do to me personally versus things you do to my property.
As somebody who is involved, you know, on a daily basis and possibly an hourly basis in this world, is it just kind of understood that rape can occur or mugging can occur? Or is this taking it to the extreme to suggest that that could actually happen?
I agree with Brent in the sense that rape is probably too strong of a word. I mean, sure, you have your avatar. Someone comes and maybe cages your avatar.
Excuse me?
Well,
but that could be a fantasy.
Yeah. Oh,
Any
sure.
fantasy is okay? Rape is okay?
Well,
if it's fantasy.
If it's fantasy.
Let's say two people like that for their kind of sexual thing, then and they're both consenting, then okay. Obviously, if someone comes to you and gets your avatar to do something you don't want to do, that's not cool. But just turn it off.
That's what you said. Gets your avatar to do something that
you don't.
You don't want your avatar to do. Yeah, then you walk over to your screen, you go boop, and it's gone.
Yeah.
Bonnie?
At the same time, we should, talk about what we mean by rape, though. In Second Life, it's very hard to have anything happen to your avatar that you don't want.
Right.
If someone tries to click you, touch you in a sexual way, you have to say, yes, please do it. I agree.
All right, Karen, our psychologist, let's bring you in here. You're listening to this. Now, people do obviously get very involved in their avatars, and they do. I can see how people would sort of lose themselves in the fantasy world. Do you think that being a victim of a murder or a rape or a mugging is possible in this new age?
Well, I think we have to point out the fact that this is very engaging. These young women play this game because they really love it. They're into it, and it's fun for them. It's a whole new world. And one of the things I'd like to point out is that people are really affected by media. I can't underestimate that, and people don't believe they're affected by it. For example, research in my lab shows that when you show people images of sexist video game characters, like women with big busts who are sex objects versus men who have big muscles and machine guns, versus showing them professional men and women, they're more likely to say that sexual harassment is not that big of a deal, that women like force in a sexual situation. And so, for example, if you show people, very attractive people on television, they will then say, I don't love my wife as much, I'm not as committed in my relationship.
Really?
So things that happen in a game or in a virtual world do affect the psyche
Karen,
of the person.
are you worried about this? Is the line, the line is getting blurred between reality and fantasy, do you think?
Yeah, the nature of my job is that I'm both excited and worried. I'm excited because it's such wonderful technology and it's so creative, but on the other hand, I think you have to have a balanced view and say, it's not an anything goes. And when a person gets attacked or sexually harassed, which I would really call virtual rape more like sexual harassment, you're doing something to me that I don't want done, then it affects them. Just for example, if I can tell a quick story, I got on Second Life and created a character, and the minute I arrived, a man who had made a large crotch for his character had a glass of champagne, tried to get me to drink the champagne, and he said he wanted me to go to a basement with him. And I said, I haven't even figured out how to walk and talk down here yet. And he said, I know, that's why I want you to go to the basement with me.
Whoa. But you can instantly get him away from you, right?
Yeah.
Click off.
But
Get out.
The reality of it, though, was strong, though. I knew this was a real person somewhere doing this to myself and
it
other
seems like a
characters.
magnet for weirdos.
Thank you very much.
No, I mean, you know what I mean. You've met some weirdos in there, though, haven't you?
Well,
you weirdo? No, you're not. You're not. You're just having fun, I hope.
right.
Yeah, you think you're on there too much?
No.
No?
I balance it. I mean, obviously, I have a life, I have a boyfriend, I have a house, I have kids,
Do you find that from the time that you started becoming involved in Second Life to now, that you are becoming more and more bold, more and more adventurous? And do you think that, are you concerned that might be a trend for people?
Well, I've always been outgoing, so that would be a hard one to gauge. Definitely maybe more exposed to social media and to new ways to connect with people.
In your real life?
In my real life. I mean, I've met people in Second Life who then I've now met in real life and become friends with. As a matter of fact, I met a guy in Second Life and I dated him for 8 months.
It's a whole new spin on online
dating. That's
Well, did
right.
you have your little characters meet each other too?
Well,
did they go out on
that's how they met.
That's how we initially met.
My character, my avatar fell in love with
The
your
avatar.
You had me at home.
Oh, because did they go on dates?
Yes.
Yeah, because he lived in Phoenix and I lived in Indiana, so there'd be times that we'd go to concerts or stuff.
Your little avatars would go to the concert
Right,
together.
and we'd be talking on the phone or something like that.
Did you have sex with him?
No.
The avatars?
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did. Did you make out at least? Well, apparently that's a yes. How prevalent is this?
Very. I mean,
Very?
good for you if you stayed pure on there, but,
Bonnie, you
it's
said you
all
created
over the place.
You created your avatar. Your avatar that's all your avatar does is have sex.
It's true.
Right?
That's just based on what I do.
She has a good life.
It's true.
Well, you're a cyber sex columnist, so naturally you'd have to
Exactly.
investigate.
Get a hobby.
Exactly. This is my hobby.
Oh, wow.
It's a fun one. No, but it's everywhere. I mean, there are people not doing it, but there are a ton of people doing
Can
it.
this get dangerous, Bonnie,
I
from all
don't-
the research you've done?
In my experience, no, it's the opposite. It's a release for a fantasy. You know, you can go on there and do something like maybe S&M that could be violent in real life, but it's a fantasy release, you know. So
See, but then this brings up the whole thing, the whole issue of my husband spending a lot of time on the computer. His little avatar is having sex with some other little avatar.
Are you jealous of the avatar?
I'm going to meet this avatar. I need to talk to her. Do you find that you've met men who, are in relationships who are
Married.
tied up?
Oh,
so to speak?
well, obviously, there's married people who are single in Second Life. There's single people who are married in Second
I
Life.
dated some of them.
Yeah. And your avatar can actually get married in Second Life and get divorced and have a baby, and...
This is the ultimate imaginary friend.
Yes.
It really is. And, for example, I met someone. We became really good friends, talked all the time. He was a guy, and I was actually going through some problems in real life at the time. And so we, at first we met, obviously, and it's really casual, just like with any friendship. And then you become deeper and deeper and more connected. And then, and I'm telling him about my personal life, my real life. And he's talking to me about his troubles with his wife and stuff like that. And then one day, all of a sudden, he sends me an IM, and he's like, I need to tell you...
Instant message.
Yeah, sorry. He's like, I need to tell you that I'm actually a woman.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Does that upset you?
Oh, yeah, it kind of ticked
It
me
really
off.
does?
Yeah. Well...
Does an avatar cry? No.
This is, because for me, I was now good friends with this person.
I
Good
think we
friends
really
with the
need
avatar.
to look at that because people would say, oh, anything that happens on a game is not real, but I think people find this so compelling that they may fall in love with another person, and that person is real to them, but of course it's a fantasy person. Your real spouse can't be that
It's
perfect
really-
or have that kind of
It's really no different than going into the chat rooms. It's really no different than
Right.
online dating.
It just
when
has
you think
an
about it, it just has
enhanced,
exactly.
just the
Right.
figure and the
But is
the
it
aspects.
cheating? Do you think it could get to that point?
I think it could.
Oh, my
Brent?
goodness.
Sure. Well, first of all, I think cheating is in the eye of the beholder, and unethical behavior is unethical regardless of what medium is used to intermediate it. But, for most of my career, people have asked me, well, don't we need new law to deal with all this new technology? And my response has largely been no. The law is ancient and well prepared to deal with new technology. However, now that we have 3D worlds, we have the ability to sort of interact with people in a very real way, which is entirely decoupled from the geography. We don't need to be in physical proximity anymore. If you walked into a club and somebody approached you with a bulge and a glass of champagne and said, come down to the basement, you'd say, go away, person, and you'd be able to do that. Or if someone were actually a man, you'd probably figure that out, or a woman, or what have you, obviously figure that out fairly quickly in most cases. Not true on the internet. And so the law may very well be unprepared to deal with some of these dynamics because they are unprecedented.
Wow, this is fascinating.
It really is fascinating.
Man.
I never thought we would get into this discussion. But this is happening.
I want
You
to
guys
create.
should join.
Let's create avatars.
Yeah.
It really is very fascinating.
I wanna talk
Second
to
Life
Bonnie.
is
You
amazing.
can do an interview.
Thank you all very
I'm going
much.
to talk to Jean Ann. Are you kidding me? Thank you, guys. Appreciate
Hey,
it.
thank you.
I can finally be a woman.
For more information, by the way, on Virtual World, log on to our website, mjshow.com.
I'll become Juliet, you become Mike.
Oh,
There's
kidding
a
me?
frightening world.
You're arrested.
We're coming back in 90 seconds, everybody. Wow.